nine, eight, seven, six, five, four, three, two. Are you ready?
Let me center on my seat here.
Oh, we are back. It is Monday Madness. It is the Hard Way Wrestling, and you know where you're at.
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Ricky's here. Scotty's
I'm always here.
We have a special guest today. Never been on the stream before, but is very comfortable with streams because he's done many of his own. Podcast Pit, right? That was
yes, the podcast pit. The podcast pit.
Podcast Pit. That was my favorite show on Saturday on my way home from work.
Yeah, I know we kept everybody informed during the pandemic pretty good. Mike Radick here, ladies and gentlemen, for those who don't know.
That's right. Mike Radick, owner, operator, ring putter upper, ring putter wearer, painter, Voltage Wrestling, man. How are you, man?
I am great. Coming off a pretty busy weekend. Had WWA on Saturday. Handling some Voltage Wrestling business Friday and Sunday. Of course, Thanksgiving. Drunksgiving the night before. We had ourselves a weekend.
Did you? Did I see that you're now the owner of WDWA?
Yes, I am. We won it. I put LT down as I said I was going to do. Put LT down. I am now the owner. We'll see for how long. We've got a 5-on-5 Survivor Series style matchup coming up here on December 9th, where the entire company is on the line.
Ooh.
And your boy is hoping to keep it that way.
Hey.
How did you find yourself back in the ring, Mike, after all these years?
How did I find myself back in the ring after all these years? After a while, the honest answer, I never got to have a last match. Never got to have, I always wondered what one more match was going to feel like. Unfortunately, for health reasons, it couldn't happen for a number of years.
Concussions,
really,
right?
concussions, and really still shouldn't be happening. I'm gonna we're playing it safe. We're playing it safe, and there we go. Sorry, ringer was still on. No, but we're playing it safe, and going in here and having just one or two more matches to end off the year, and that will cap off my wrestling career, hopefully.
So I know one of the biggest guys that you've ever faced, but can you tell these guys and our people at home or on YouTube or wherever at, and if you are on YouTube or Facebook, please make sure you go. I just clicked the wrong button. Make sure you go like and subscribe. We need all the likes and subscribes you can. That's the only reason why I brought Mike on here, because Mike is very likable and we're not. So, Mike,
according to some, I'm very likable.
Well, I mean, we're gonna try not to get into Ellsworth, but we're going past that. But
gotta work on that call.
Give us the biggest guy or the best guy you've ever been in the ring with. A star or a name that we would all know.
As far as guys I've been in the ring with, people that you would know. First one that comes to mind is Doc Gallows, Luke Gallows.
Okay.
Was in the ring with him. This is
Festus.
Yes, 2011. He was coming off his first run in WWE. I think he had the IWGP tag titles at the time. Me and Corey Bush faced off against him and Shane Shadows in Romney.
A lean Corey Bush.
Yes, a very mean and lean Corey Bush in Romney, West Virginia. Didn't go our way, but we got in the ring with, bona fide superstar. Other guys I've been in the ring with, I still remember very early on in my career doing a battle royal in Radick, Pennsylvania, where I was in the ring with Billy Gunn, Al Snow, King Kong Bundy, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Disco Inferno, Norman Smiley.
Now, Reading, that's up there. Is that near Samu's place?
It's very close to Samu's place. We were doing this was a ring rental that we were doing. The fun fact about this, I had just gotten off of work at 6 a.m. I worked overnight. And Nicholas Tide, of all people, calls me, and he's just like, hey, I've got a ring rental in Reading, Pennsylvania. Come along if you can help me out. You can sleep in the car. Okay. We get up there. I find out we're doing it in a minor league baseball stadium, and then the entire locker room walks in, and it's just a locker room full of all names, and then there's me and 2 or 3 other people that I came with. We were very nervous. I think this was 2005, so I think I was in 2-3 years at that point in time.
Right.
Still very green, and I had no idea what I was doing there and was just nervous as shit. But we had a good night. A good night was had by all, and a memory that I will never forget. I'll just say that.
Anytime you get to share the ring with legends like Bundy, who is this, I've met him one time. Sweetest guy.
Funniest guy, too.
Funny, too, but sweetest guy. Like, you look at the guy, you're like, oh, great, this guy's a monster. And he shakes your hand. He's so soft. Such a nice guy. The old school handshake.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime you get to spend time with legends like Hillbilly Jim and Bundy and whoever else you mentioned there, was just that's I mean, those are memories you'll always have, the rest of your life. So
what is it with the Jason saying for the chubbies? I swear, like
I love me some
soft hands and soft
That's why we let you on here, Scotty.
Wow.
Man Crush Monday.
All right, we're going to get into it here. We're covering Survivor Series and the matches. We're going to go through them really quick, and then we're going to get into the biggest return probably in WWE history that I can ever remember. R-Truth. I mean, that's the.
Yep.
Again,
wow.
I was super excited when R-Truth came onto the screen, and I honestly nothing the rest of the night topped it. So, I mean, maybe
he needed the 24/7 title in his drag get up, where he was like trying to disguise himself as a black guy being white girl.
I wanted him to come down to the ring with a ladder during the women's match so bad, but he didn't.
My bad.
And I did not get to see any of Survivor Series, so no, I didn't see any of it. Yeah, Saturday night, it was a pretty busy little Saturday.
All right. Yeah, well, we're the same way every time. It seems like every time we have an ATCW show, AEW is on. Yeah. I haven't seen an AEW pay-per-view live in probably 5 months.
Yeah, if it's going on during the weekend in the last month, I have, like, with the ring rentals, shows, and with the wrestling bookings and stuff that I've been taking with WWA and a couple of other places, like, I haven't had the time to, catch up on wrestling.
Yeah, you're not really missing it. Yeah, I mean, it's like a soap opera. You can watch one episode and be caught up completely. So it does not take very long to get up to speed here. But we're gonna zip through these real quick. Let me just get down here to the right thing. First match we had, it was supposed to be Carlito and Santos Escobar, but something happened with Carlito. We're not sure. Maybe an injury, or maybe they just figured Dragon Lee would be a better fit to face Santos Escobar. Ricky, what did you think of this match?
It wasn't bad, but it was the bathroom break of the night match. Like, I had very little interest in it.
Bathroom break of the night match.
Yeah, usually it's a women's match, but these guys, I actually thought it was a pretty good match. I mean, Dragon Lee's been on a roll, and Santos Escobar ended it. Scotty, any thoughts on this match?
Flippity doo-dah.
Huh?
Flippity doo-dah.
Yeah. I mean, look, what it did, I feel like, is that it helped to progress Escobar's heel turn. Like, they didn't, I don't think they needed Carlito that night. I think they needed a few good, solid matches for Escobar to have to kind of continue to build the heel turn before he goes against any of the other members of the LWO or Mysterio, for that matter, when Mysterio comes back from his injury.
They are building this as what's going to eventually be a 3 versus 3 when Mysterio comes back, because they are bringing the Los Lotharios up to join Escobar.
Yeah.
That's actually a good move.
So it'll be those 3 against Ray, Carlito, and Dragon Lee when Ray gets cleared from his knee.
Yeah.
Oh, Ray's got another knee injury, huh?
Yes,
It
sir.
was a minor surgery he had.
Is that what it is? It's not kayfabe. It's not
No, they said it was like an arthroscopic thing. He's going to miss probably a couple months.
So they got a 3 against 2.5 coming. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Gotcha. All right. So Dragon Lee, even though he was on a streak, he loses to Santos Escobar. This is the match I tried to convince my girlfriend The Miz was going to win, just so she'd change it on her fantasy paper. Did not work. Did not work. Gunther chops the absolute dog piss out of The Miz and retains his Intercontinental Champion.
I can't watch anything Miz anymore without thinking frog face. Thanks a lot, Scotty.
He's got big balls.
Oh my God.
Even trunks, if you and his knee pads, if you notice that, he actually got big balls on his knee pads.
The Miz is one of the better workers in the WWE.
Absolutely.
I know he puts a ton of guys over now, and who knows if he'll ever have a real title run again, or maybe he is now taking the place of Dolph Ziggler.
Pretty much.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The Miz, I like that. I like the Miz, but I don't know what it is. There's just something missing. And I've tried to put my finger on it for years. There's something missing from the overall package. And I think that's why you're not going to see a title run out of him ever again, at least a meaningful one. I'm like, he's just not like when you picture a WWE champion, you just picture somebody that shows a little bit more grit than the Miz does.
Yeah,
that's just me. But
he spent a lot. He's really it's like Liam Neeson or guys like that get typecast, right?
Yeah,
he is a chicken shit heel. He'll always be a chicken shit heel, no matter if he's not, right? He's just, even though he really in this run here, he was sort of a tweener type of guy. It's very hard to look at him seriously. So
he's correct me if I'm wrong, both of his world title runs were Money in the Bank cash-ins, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like he's ever been in a one-on-one match and won it outright. It's always been cash-in on whoever the hell was beat up by Bobby Lashley and get the easy pin.
I was seeing in the chat here, too. Sorry to interrupt.
No, Ed, you're on the chat. Get out.
Yeah. Stephen Broussard was in here in the chat saying that Miz is missing a genuine mean streak, and I couldn't be any more in agreement with that. I mean, that's right on the money. There's just a mean streak that is missing from the Miz that you see from guys that have held the WWE Championship in the past. Guys like Triple H, guys, Mick Foley, guys. Like there's always that match that gets that mean streak out of you. So like in the future, you kind of show that. Like I know Triple H got that with Mick Foley. Randy Orton got that with Mick Foley. I think there just isn't a Mick Foley of this generation to give that to the Miz.
Does he have it in him though? I mean, when you look at the Miz, can you see someone who's diabolical and is going to do anything to win?
That was his Hollywood persona.
No, I mean you could probably I've seen him show the streak in movies, just not in a wrestling ring.
The Marine 17. That's where you saw him do his.
Yeah, but I mean, if I had to compare him to a wrestler, like a wrestler of yesteryear, I'd probably compare him to Jeff Jarrett, and I don't mean that as an insult, but it's just a guy like you can see him like on the upper mid card, but you're not going to buy him as a believable main eventer in the top company in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we could get a heel type of run out of the Miz like Jeff Jarrett is now, or it was during Flair's last match, that type of heel, man, I'd be in for it. But I just don't think we'll ever see that type of run out of the Miz, honestly.
No, not at all.
And really, really quick, just to pick your brain, good sir. You said there's nobody like Mick Foley out there for this generation.
Not that's going to get not that has the know-how of getting the mean streak. Like Steve again in the chat, he mentioned that they tried to do that with him and Daniel Bryan, where they had Daniel Bryan try to get the mean streak out of him, and like that's a good choice if you're trying to get some kind of grit out of somebody, because Daniel Bryan's always been known to be physically intense in the ring. but it's not on the level of Mick Foley. You don't got somebody, throwing you through glass or, taking you to a level or the limits that you've never been to before.
Do you think they, before Edge went out originally with his neck, do you think Edge could have been the one to get Miz over like that? Because Edge was I believe he was the last one to be in the ring with Foley that WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
And, Edge was the rated R superstar. He had a mean streak. Do you think they could have used Edge to get Miz to get that mean streak out of him before Edge's original run went down?
I think you could have used Edge. I think if used in the proper way in the WWE, Dean Ambrose could have been that guy. However, those cards weren't laid down on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate.
It's a fantasy booking, but it's still being if they had done Edge and Miz, I think that mean streak would have come out. But, who knows?
I agree.
So, but
no. Anyway, the Miz so close, but yet so far. All right. The next match, the women's heavyweight champion Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Starks. It is tough. It is tough to root against Rhea, whether she's a heel or she's not a heel. She is the most over woman that I can remember in the history, right? I mean, more than Lita, more than Trish ever was. I mean, there's something about Rhea that just grabs you. And
unbelievable presence in the ring.
As much as she is a heel, the fans still cheered her the whole time. Every time Zoe got any offense, they booed Zoe. I mean, this is tough. This is tough. So, Mike, if you got a talent like Rhea Ripley who is super over, heel or face, what do you do with her?
Honestly,
hey, we're wide open here, Mike. If you can do whatever you want with her.
Well, from a physicality standpoint and a size standpoint, there's nobody that matches up to her. I can't see anybody. I can't picture anybody believably beating her right now.
Yeah.
I honestly, with what they have, because I know Jade Cargill just joined the fold, I would basically keep doing what they're doing with her until you can get to that eventual matchup with Jade Cargill. You're probably not going to see that for a bit because I've got a feeling they're probably still working on Jade's in-ring stuff.
They absolutely are polishing her up.
Yeah, I think probably a move this soon.
I feel like they got Jade out back with one of those pressure washers trying to get all the AEW off of it.
Well, here's the thing. I think she made a bad move by jumping to WWE this soon because she had a company that was shining her up and they were doing a very, very good job of protecting her while she was still going down there to the Nightmare Factory, training, keeping up with that. I think she should have stayed there for a couple more years, maybe signed re-upped on a 3-year deal and then jumped. Now, who knows if WWE is going to be interested in 3 years? A lot can happen in 3 years. However, she made the decision to jump. So now, they've got to do what they can do to protect and, basically get the most out of their investment at this point.
Yeah, well, this was Endeavor's real first big splash. So, they threw the bag at her.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, it's not like here's the thing. It's not like she needs money. A lot of people don't know she's married to Brandon Phillips, former second baseman for the Cincinnati Reds. They're not worried about money. Right now, I'd be worried about just continuing to learn the craft. I mean, the Performance Center.
Wait a minute. Who's married to who?
Jade Cargill is married to Brandon Phillips. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm staring at a picture of Rhea right now, and I was like,
"Oh no, Rhea Ripley's not. No, I'm talking.
No, buddy.
No, Jade Cargill is married.
Buddy, you mean Dom?
Yeah.
So, they're not worried about money. Right now, they've got her down. They probably got her down at the Performance Center. Kind of getting her up to speed. And I mean, as a women's wrestler, that's the place you want to be. That's like I used to say it on my podcast all the time. That is the Harvard of women's wrestling. They will take the most nominal athlete and shine them up and make them look like $1 million. So,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, she's going to be better for it. But it's probably just going to be a long time before you get to that eventual Jade Rhea Ripley match.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think AEW had anything for her. I mean, there was plenty of people that she still could have faced, Britt Baker, etc. But I just didn't. I don't see the competition is so much better than WWE, and I think that's what she wants. She's an athlete. She's a competitor, and that's where she wants to be. So I honestly get the money while you can get the money because we don't know how long we're going to be around.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. By the way, Steve in the chat says the reason Rhea's over, it's her butt. And
the what? I didn't even notice. I swear I didn't even notice.
Didn't notice, huh?
Steve is one of the co-owners of the Independent Rewind.
Great show.
I just got to do a bunch of episodes on there last Friday. I'm still tired. They wore me out. I don't know if you've been on there yet, Mike, but they're
I have not, but I know Steven. I've known Steven Rob for a number of years, and I had a conversation with Rob a couple of weeks back about how good their podcast or their YouTube series, I should say, is. Definitely a fun one to watch, especially when you get into. They used to air some of the really, really bad matches and commentate over them. I love those. So,
don't get me wrong. There's still some really bad matches, but I have now found a love for Indian wrestling. So you can thank my browser history is a complete mess right now. For a lot of reasons. I mean, honestly, but for Indian wrestling for sure. And you guys when you guys catch that episode, I will send that link out when it shows. It was fun, and they had to edit. They had to keep me. It was very difficult to keep me under control. I'm actually doing all right now, but they're like every time I said something, I kept hearing them say somebody yell cancel in the background. So I don't know.
Oh god.
So, but they're fun. They're fun guys. Okay, so Rhea Ripley retains here. No big shocker there.
Not at all.
They've got to know the secret words, Prince Nana.
Oh god.
Like on the 29th. I'm
yeah.
dancing on the 29th. All right. We got the Women's Survivor Series War Games match. We had who are they?
Damage Control.
Damage Control versus Brian Hardy's favorite chick, Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and a Q-Tip. So
Q-Tip.
Yeah, what is her name?
Shotzi.
Oh, Shotzi.
Yeah, Shotzi Q-Tip.
Oh yeah, I did see. I saw the pictures of her recent haircut or.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Hair and everything.
Yeah, she looks like if you tied a chain to her feet, she looked like one of those ball and mace.
I saw somebody on the internet compare her to remember on Toy Story that toy that Sid made, like it had like a baby's head with the
Yeah.
So there's one from Hey Arnold too.
Oh god.
There's a few of them out there. Yeah,
Shotzi's the internet is undefeated.
She every time Shotzi's not doing herself any favors with her barber. But so the Women's Survivor Series match, not a bad match at all. There was a lot of great spots in here, and there was one in particular, and I'm sure you guys saw it, where Io Sky, it was Io, right?
Yeah.
She put a trash can on and dove onto the girls from the top of the cage. I don't know if she'll ever not be able to do this move every time she's in War Games or any time ever.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool spot here. I told Ricky, I said, this would be a great time for them to all step out of the way like Samoa Joe does.
Yeah, do the Samoa Joe.
Crashing to the ground. But yeah,
eventually somebody's going to do that.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, it was a pretty cool spot. These girls beat them.
And then she took the moonsault from Charlotte from the top of the cage and took a knee to the dome.
Knee to the head.
Oh.
My gosh, I saw that. Like, I had to rewatch that a couple of times, and I'm like, I was trying to figure. I was like, okay, I know Charlotte's knee landed on somebody, and I'm rewatching. Oh my god, she get literally right on the top of Io's head, like,
yeah, drove her into the ground like a spike.
Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't get a concussion from that. If she did, she didn't sell it. Like,
Well, her body collapsing out from underneath of itself is not selling it. I don't know.
he was back up a little bit later, and I was like,
Yeah, later. Later. So if her knee would have hit Shotzi's hair, that'd have been it. She'd have blew that knee right out.
eh.
So damage control unfortunately loses this match.
Bailey took the bullet.
They're setting Bailey up for a heel or for a face turn. It's coming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely coming, and we're ready for that. We're ready for the hugger to come back. You think she goes back to hugging people and
Nah,
big wavy
No.
guys?
the hell with that gimmick.
No, I don't think you see the hugger ever again.
No.
Nah.
I think she should change her finishing move to the old be buying bruh, the beat thing.
The bee sting, huh?
With that big fat butt of hers.
Yeah.
Pay cash for that. Anyway, damage control loses to Shotzi, Charlotte, the Man, and Bianca Belair. And now we are going to get into what we've all came to talk about. And what is that?
R-Truth?
Yeah.
Well,
R-Truth. That is exactly right. We're here to talk about R-Truth. He had a quick cameo. He just showed up. I guess it was the middle. What was it? Rough Rush? I don't even know.
he finally
just
came
showed
back
up.
from Sioux Falls City.
He's on the I-95, 7-Eleven.
Euro Continental.
I love me some
No.
R-Truth. It's good to see him back.
Yeah, R-Truth. R-Truth is
comic
timeless.
genius.
The man don't age. The man
I
does
do
not
not.
age.
I don't know what they're going to do with Tozawa now that R-Truth is back.
Who knows?
So
Yeah, then
anyway,
the 24/7 title's long gone.
long gone. I think it left with.
Just throw him in with the Alpha Academy.
I'm good
Oh.
with
Might
that.
as well.
That could be interesting.
I'm good with that. Give him a suit and put him with Bobby Lashley.
No, but,
Oh,
seriously,
man.
I did see some news about this main event. I mean, everybody's seen the news about like what happened during the main event of this show.
Yeah.
Randy Orton coming back.
Yeah.
Now, did Randy not look great?
Oh my God.
Randy looked like
bad.
he was spending some time in the gym, saying his prayers, eating his vitamins, and believing in himself. If you know what I mean.
So
Yeah.
you think he's on? You think he's on the juice?
Well, I'm not going to speculate on that.
He was pretty lean though. He's pretty lean.
Yeah, he was pretty lean. It looked great. Fans were obviously happy to see him. After a year and a half, what has it been, a year and a half absence at this point?
Yeah, he's been going a while.
Yeah, he's been going for a long time. I don't think people even thought he was coming back at the, once you're gone for a year, it's kind of hard to come back and, get that reaction like you used to. But lo and behold, Mr. Orton.
Well, we
Yeah.
thought he was going to work a little differently. They were saying, "Oh, we're not going to do the draping DDT anymore." Wrong answer. He did 2 or 3 of them. They said, "Oh, no more. We're gonna change the way we do things. The RKO is going to be different." Wrong answer. We did
I
an
thought for
RKO.
sure that like after what he had said about how the RKO all those times, out of all those years, basically punished his back. I thought he was going to come up with a new finisher or just use the punt kick.
He might. I mean, he still might come up with a finisher. I don't know about the punt kick though. I think it's
Punt kick's
too
a heel
close.
thing.
Yeah, I think it's too close to Seth Rollins'
Curb stomp.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we had Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, returning Randy Orton, Jimmy Uso. Is it
Jey Uso.
Jey Uso and Jesus Zayn versus Dominic. A very upset Drew McIntyre, JD McDonough, Finn Balor, and Mr. Senior Money in the Bank. This was actually a really good match. I did see a spot, and we missed it when we were talking. Scotty brought it up. That was the longest. That was the longest that Dominic has ever been behind bars.
Yeah.
I heard that. Michael Cole's comment.
Michael
make
Cole
the
with the
comment?
disrespect.
Yeah, it was Michael Cole.
It was Michael Cole's comment. That's where I got it from. But yeah.
Totally missed that comment. That's a great comment.
I thought you heard that.
No, I didn't. I did not.
You were
hear it.
laughing at something during that point. I don't know what it was, but I heard it, so I figured you were just laughing at the same thing I was.
Oh yeah. Nope. Missed that comment. So we're just gonna jump right into it here. The Judgment Day loses this match. Drew McIntyre joining this group to become a winner. It didn't really work out for him.
Not working.
I don't think Drew was very happy at the end of the night. Supposedly he went running. He didn't run. He left early. Just grabbed his shit and got out. I guess, Mike, a lot of guys do that when they don't want to have to tear down the ring, I think.
Yeah.
You know. But we did get a returning. Oh, that's Randy Orton. We did get a returning CM Punk. Now, we were all sitting there. I listened to Fightful Select today. Triple H took over the last 15 minutes of the show. In Gorilla, he called for the copyright logo, and the copyright logo was on the screen. And I mean, Punk's music hits, and I know what I jumped out of my seat. Absolutely jumped out of my seat. Scotty did a fucking backflip.
His chair broke and he fell over backwards and rolled like a very flat tire.
Wow. You see that comment in the chat?
No, I did not.
From Owen Hardy, Punk coming back made me want to run my other foot over. Wow.
Owen ran his foot over with the lawnmower.
Yeah.
And don't sugarcoat it there, Owen. Tell us how you really feel. Why are you holding it in, buddy? No, CM Punk coming back. I've got mixed feelings on it. I'll just start off by saying I thought he was completely justified the way he left before in 2014. Anybody that listened to the Cole Cabana podcast, if you didn't feel like he was justified, I don't know what you were listening to. That being said, the last 2 years has made me really not care too much about it, whether CM Punk is back or not. He's here. He's not. I've always enjoyed his work. I don't really. I don't know. I just don't care anymore. I think it's just caused too many problems over the last few years. Yeah, I'm not going to – I don't want to sit here and say he's a locker room cancer because I know on the other side of the coin, with AEW, I know those guys, the guys that he was having issues with, clearly, they've got a reputation for playing backstage politics. That's well known. However, going into business on to start this off, I mean, the stuff started at the All Out press conference last year. Going into business for yourself on that podcast, uncalled for. Why Tony Khan sat there and let him do it, I don't know. I think it's rather
TK has no balls.
I think it's rather cowardly that he did. Regardless of whether they're right or wrong, publicly you should always take up for your senior management. Correct them behind the curtain, take up for them out front, because if you don't have that, that's a level of trust that's broken right there. And if you can't trust somebody, you can't be in business with them.
Well, that's the problem with AEW. There's no unity, right? It doesn't feel like that they're a locker room that's together. It feels like it's a locker room full of cliques.
I'm going to say this. I have seen this, and I'm going to preface this by saying I love watching AEW. I actually like it watching AEW, and I've said this since their inception. I like watching AEW more than I like watching WWE. WWE isn't a bad product anymore. It's changed a lot since Vince has been gone, for the better, I say. The Bloodline story has been fun to follow, but I particularly enjoy watching AEW. Having said that, since Cody Rhodes left, I want to say I've noticed it since January of 22, the Washington, D.C. shows. If you remember, they had that. We
were there.
Yeah, they had that AEW Dynamite in Southeast DC in that smaller arena where the Mystics and the Go-Go play.
Terrible parking.
Oh, terrible parking. They weren't equipped for an event like that. Having said that, ever since that, like the Cody calls it the exit interview now, ever since that interview, it seems like every week you start to see little cracks in the armor of AEW.
Yeah.
And it seems like since he's left that there's been a lot of instability over there.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, it could have been a pride thing with Tony Khan. I think if AEW goes down the tubes, which I don't think it will, I think there's too much money behind it. But if, like, in order to right the ships, you're going to need to get somebody over there that can provide stability, like Cody Rhodes did. And until that happens, like, they're going to continue to have problems. It is the way it is.
Wasn't that one of the main reasons why they brought Edge in? Edge is supposed to be Daniel Bryan, guys like John Moxley. I mean, those guys were supposed to kind of put everything where it should be and kind of structure everything, but hasn't worked.
Well, I mean, the jury's still out on Daniel Bryan because I know he's just recently gotten a little bit more power. That's what I've heard, at least. I could be wrong.
Right.
But I've heard he's kind of his influence there is growing. So the jury remains to be seen on that. But I do think they're going to need to get something to change the channel in the way that CM Punk changed the channel. Who knows? Maybe this devil storyline.
Well, it's not CM Punk.
Well, it's not CM Punk, but who's? I mean, now we're still wondering who the reveal is going to be. Maybe this devil storyline turns out to be something huge.
Yeah, I think we're going to be disappointed when this thing's all said and done.
It'll be like the second Casino ladder match where it was like Leo Rush came out, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
I remember the biggest disappointment for me was when they debuted Christian Cage because they were making out this major announcement that's going to change everything forever. And I knew it was going to be Christian Cage, but just the way they were hyping, I was like, if it's anybody but, like, I think it was like Brock Lesnar or, like John Cena or The Rock or something like that, it's going to be a letdown.
Brock Lesnar would do in that locker room. There would be no one left.
No.
He would kill them all.
No, I don't think anybody would be getting out of line either. Like his.
No.
Yeah, you're going to get. Maybe.
Moxley.
He would have turned Jungle Boy into some fucking origami.
Yeah, I think that they're waiting for some non-compete clauses to end for them to reveal this devil. That's why we didn't get it the last pay-per-view. Or maybe it is they're waiting on Adam Cole to get healthy so they can so that he could be the devil. I don't know. They need something. They absolutely need something. As much as I'm not a big Punk fan, I don't like the way he comes in and out, and the way he operates. Boy, it is a loss. It is a huge loss. It is a ratings loss. It is a money loss. I don't know. Their ratings are in the fucking tank, bro.
I won't say they're in the tank.
Okay. They are really, Mike. They are in the tank, man.
Yeah, they're
not good.
They are around 200,000.
Are they doing that on Wednesday night, or is that just a Saturday night show?
Saturday night. This is
okay. Yeah. Here's the thing. I said,
they're only getting 7, right? Aren't they getting 7 or 8?
Well, if they stay around 7 or 8 on Wednesdays, they'll be fine. The Saturday night show, I always said, was only going to do about 200,000 or 300,000 people. Like Saturday night, nobody's going to be watching. I don't want to watch wrestling on a Saturday night. I said this like when I was 14. When I was 14 years old, that was like around 1999 when ECW was on Friday nights. I loved ECW, but I would not be sticking around on a Friday night to watch ECW because I was going out with my friends and doing stuff here and there. Right. The Friday and Saturday nights are a time when people are out and about. Like if you're going to watch it anywhere, you're probably going to watch it at a bar or something, which most of the time the bar is not going to have it on. They're going to have football or basketball or baseball. It's a tough time of year for pro wrestling.
They always give us the ratings, but they never give us the DVR ratings, and that's what I want to know because I don't watch anything live. I
No.
DVR everything and I watch it all the next day during the day or on my way to work in the morning or whatever. So I'd like to know the
While
DVR.
he's driving in his truck.
Yeah, absolutely. While I'm driving in my truck.
Man, that's safe.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. Not my work truck. Never my work truck. But I'm curious on what their DVR numbers are, and I think that's a big tell.
Yeah.
Because people, if you know that you don't have to sit and watch something live, you're not going to.
Well, you don't have to sit and watch Monday Night Raw live either, but people still do it. But I also think Monday's an easy night. Like, there's a reason Monday Night Raw is on Monday nights. It's an easy night of the week to sit down and watch wrestling. You're not going out on a Monday night. Bars are typically closing early on a Monday night. There's not a lot of entertainment outside of your home on a Monday night. It's just an easy night to sit down, watch wrestling. It's been like that for years, even before Raw. Like, Memphis Wrestling would run wrestling every Monday night. Like, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, I don't. Again, I'd like to know the DVR numbers. I worry about AEW and being able to get another TV deal. I don't know that they're going to come back to. I know they're locked in for the next few years with Turner, but after Turner, where do they go? I mean,
who knows? Turner might resign them. I mean, I don't see WWE going there. The networks that they have are kind of a downgrade from what they already have. Let's be honest. USA Network, it's a pretty foregone conclusion. They're in every single household in the country. Like, and every cable package, if even the most basic ones, has USA Network. So
and they have SmackDown now. So SmackDown's going to, I guess, move to Monday nights.
SmackDown's moving to Monday nights.
And didn't USA pick up SmackDown and drop Raw?
Yeah, but SmackDown, I would assume it was going to be on like a Thursday or Friday.
Is it going to be on a Friday?
Yeah, I would assume.
As far as I know, I don't think Raw has been picked up yet. So, wow, what a big selling point! If you, CM Punk's on Raw, if you want ratings, I want to pick this up. So
makes sense why they signed him too, because you're in the middle of really big time to sell television rights. So
absolutely, yeah,
good
Crazy.
to have.
Crazy. So CM Punk is back again for the third time with a second company. So I put a question out there in the chat. Who should be CM Punk's first opponent? And the obvious choice is Seth, because Seth was absolutely losing his freaking mind the other day. 100% an Angle. Pretty sure of that.
Oh yeah.
Better hope it is, or they'll be bringing Saturday Night Main Event back, and that'll be the CM Punk show.
I just don't. I don't see. They're not getting rid of Seth. They'll get rid of Punk before they get rid of Seth. Seth is a mainstay there. So give me, and I'll go through our questions here because we had a couple people answer the question. So Scotty, who should CM Punk's first?
It's a tough one to answer because he's got a lot of he's got a lot of choices. There's a lot of choices that they could bring into this, but if I had to choose one, and it's going to kind of have to be either an abbreviated storyline or they kind of start it, move to something else with this guy, and then move back to the Punk storyline. But I think Cody, because they've got the AEW history. They, I think there's, they've got WWE history. I think there's something they could do, Punk versus Cody, in a situation like this. And yes, I know, coming up on WrestleMania season, coming up on the fact that hopefully Punk will be in not Punk, but Cody will be in the main event for the Universal title. So they'd either have to do an abbreviated storyline or, stop it in the middle and start back up after WrestleMania, which could still work. But I think Cody should be his first opponent, in my view.
All right. Rick?
What's that herpes medication that you use to cover it up or try and get it to cover up? Maybe he needs to get into a feud with that. I'm not a fan of CM Punk. I get it. I'm not a fan of this guy. Like I'm done with him. I get it, and I knew Trips was going to say it in the press conference. Oh, we got to do what's best for business, and of course he said it. And Punk's old; he's injury prone. So how long will he actually last before he's out with an injury? Surprised he didn't tear his pec hugging his Chicago people during his entrance.
Yeah, he's going to be injured.
I don't want to see
he's
him
an older
going.
guy. I mean, he's an older guy. I mean,
I don't want to see him going
get
into a world title feud right away, or even any time in the next 6 months. Like,
well,
you've built up Damian Priest. You've got Cody going to finish his story. You got Randy coming back. Those guys are already established WWE guys. Those should be your top priority for first push. Let fucking Punk go after Gunther.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think his first opponent's going to be Seth Rollins, but I mean, there is a lot of, and I'm going to get to your Rick. I'm going to get to your point here in a minute. But there's a lot of people you could put in the ring with Punk where you can make some magic. I mean, Seth Rollins will be one. AJ Styles, I don't think that's going to happen, but it would be a good one. I can tell you,
Styles was another one that said he does not like Punk or wanted him.
Doesn't want to even work with him.
Yeah.
I can understand why. From the TNA days, he was quite the problem in TNA. A lot of people forget that. A lot of people forget why he was fired from TNA. But you got AJ Styles. Here's another little dark horse storyline that you could probably put him in the ring with, since the man is cleared. It was mentioned, I want to say last year, Corey Graves.
Oh,
you could get us. There's a lot of personal issues you could bring up there that could make a nice story. But Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Roman Reigns would be another one I could see him, feuding with. If
his first feud, he's got to win, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to bring him in to get the world title. I can't imagine that. Drew would absolutely be gone from the company in January if they decided they're going to do that. So.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think that's exactly what they're going to do. I think that is 100% what they're going to do. They're going to try to go for the immediate impact. No, I am not a fan of it. I understand from a business standpoint why they would do that. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
CM Punk is back in the WWE. We will see how long this lasts. I honestly think he is going to be injured before they really get to explore any meat on the bone, so to speak. That's just me. I could be wrong, but
I'd love a CM Punk Nick Aldis feud.
Oh, that would be incredible. Nick Aldis wrestling in general in the WWE would be an incredible thing. I honestly see him fitting more into NXT than the main roster right now. There's a couple of reasons why, but I just want to see him wrestling somewhere else other than the NWA.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a hell of a talent.
Let's go to the chat real quick. Libby says she'd love to see Drew McIntyre. Courtney Taylor, either Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, or any of the members of Judgment Day. So he pretty much named everybody that was on
the War Games match.
Here's a good one. AJ, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Now, Shinsuke did call him out.
He's been he did the GTS in one match, I believe, and so,
he said go to sleep in Japanese or something like that. I think
Shinsuke would be another good one.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's a match that would interest me big time. Anything Nakamura, I'm going to like.
Yeah,
I'm going to say anything not involving the world titles.
Yeah,
like, I don't think frankly he doesn't deserve to be in the world title picture.
It's not.
It's not even about being deserving or not deserving. It's just there's no point in putting them in the world. Like I think you can make as much money off of CM Punk in a non-title situation as you could with a title. There's no added benefit. There's money to be made on pay-per-view. I would focus on the matchups and continue doing what you were already doing and not alter your world title plans at all. But that's just me.
He doesn't need a belt. He's one of those guys. We've talked about it when he was with AEW. There's certain guys that you do not ever have to put a strap on.
Yeah.
You don't need he doesn't need to. He's elevated. The guy's top of the world.
Yeah, he's at a Roddy Piper type level. Like, I don't think you're going to need to put a world title on the man.
How many titles did Piper hold?
One.
World titles, I mean, I can only remember holding the IC belt. I don't think I've ever seen him hold another championship other than like an Intercontinental or a tag title.
He held more coconuts to Jimmy Superfly Snuka's head than he did world title.
Yeah.
AJ says, save WrestleMania. Save that for WrestleMania unless they do Punk versus Stone Cold.
That would be I would tune in to see that, as much as I don't like Punk. Like, I definitely would tune in to see that. That would be interesting. It would be intriguing.
To get Stone Cold, hey, wait. If we get to see Punk and Stone Cold at Mania, I am definitely down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be at, Mike, you'll be at Mania. You go to Mania.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll be at Mania.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to hook up while we're done. Are you running a show?
Voltage Wrestling, I'm not going to say I'm not running a show in Mania. There are talks. There are negotiations. Voltage Wrestling may or may not have a presence at WrestleMania weekend.
Can you run that show on a Friday?
Can I run that show on a Friday? We'll see.
I will be getting into town on Friday, Mike. I'm just saying. All
right.
On Friday. So,
well, we'll see what we can do.
If anything, I have an extra pair of hands to put the ropes up.
Yeah, I'd like. Has anybody heard about this yet? Has anybody heard about Sonny getting sentenced?
Yeah.
I heard a little bit about it, but didn't really look into it because I'm still on cloud nine because CM Punk's back.
17 years.
17 years
That's
with
absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 17 years with 8 years supervised probation?
8 years supervised probation, but yeah, it's a 17-year sentence. It's like, my gosh, and how old is she right now? She's in her
60s, right?
Huh?
Her sunny days are long gone.
Yeah, her sunny days are long gone. No, it's just a hell of a fall from grace. I mean, 2011, I remember being in Atlanta, seeing her getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, looking better than she had looked in years. I mean, she just looked phenomenal, had herself in good shape, seemed to be off the drugs, away from the alcohol a bit. And, 12 years later, here we are. Just problem after problem after problem after problem. It just you wonder how she just got down that dark road. Well, you don't wonder, but
well, it all goes back to Shawn Michaels.
It's more than Shawn Michaels. I mean, I don't like it. The business. The business can be tough to handle for some once they're out of the spotlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know what problems people have. I've seen so many people over the years, people that grew up watching on television that had some serious problems that they ultimately succumbed to. A couple of years, Axl Rotten comes to mind. It's just a sad ending because you saw somebody with somebody that was so intelligent when it came to the business, so bright when it came to the business, but he just went down a dark path at some point in time. You don't like to see it. I know a lot of people tried to help him. It's a sad ending. The same with this situation, I guess. This really
Is she going to prison or jail?
Oh, she's going to prison. I mean, Florida don't play around. Florida does not play around.
They do have Uber in Florida, right? Because that seems to be where everybody gets caught.
Yeah, well, no, it's just like I don't know what it is with Florida. It's like you go down there's something in the water that just makes you do, what's the craziest thing you can do?
Jimmy
and then
Uso, Jeff Hardy, Nick Hogan.
Yeah. Well,
Nick Hogan, yeah.
Yeah, Florida is like the bedlam. There is like the resting place for a million wrestlers, right? That's where a lot of Florida wrestlers go. How many times do you think Ric Flair's been drunk in Florida at a karaoke bar recently?
Really.
Hogan.
I mean, Did you see Nick Hogan's mugshot, by the way? He looked like Ryback off the gas.
He really does. Look like Ryback. By the way,
No,
CM Punk is back. Ryback is retiring.
No, he's not. He said
he backed
only
off
if
of
he comes
that.
back to AEW. But he said if he lasts more than 6 months, then he will actually retire.
Yeah, he's not retiring.
Yeah, he's never.
He's just going to sit home and he's going to sit at home and overcharge people for indie bookings and then wonder why they don't book him. That's
Well,
it.
he's not even wrestling, right? He hasn't wrestled in how long?
He hasn't wrestled in years.
Yeah.
Ryback.
His asking price for a booking is astronomical.
Isn't
Number
he like
one,
$5,000 or some shit
it's
like
like
that?
$5 or $6,000, and it's just
Yeah.
like, dude, you can get Kevin Nash or somebody for that kind of money. Not putting anybody's money out there, but I mean, there's a lot of people you can get for $5,000.
3 or 4 guys. You could. I know for a fact you could bring in Greg Valentine, Cowboy Bob Orton, and one more guy for less than $2,500.
Yeah,
So, who do you think people are going to come to see? They're going to see Ryback or Greg Valentine?
dude, I didn't want to see Ryback when he was wrestling for WWE. Like, I don't know. Like, his only redeeming quality was that he was big.
Yeah,
Like, there's nothing else to it.
I like hearing him. I don't have any love or hate for Ryback, except for just this morning when I saw that he goes, "Hey, I said I was going to retire if he came back to AEW." No, you didn't, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. We heard
You said you said he was going to retire, and we thought we were about to get lucky because I don't want to see him anymore. But
he's retired. He just doesn't know it.
yeah, there's. Let's go around because I think we only got like 5 more minutes or so.
Yeah, 5 more minutes and we can.
Yeah. So who out of all the wrestlers you've ever seen in your lifetime, who is the one you wanted to see just retire and leave the most?
Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Ric Flair.
Did you watch the last match?
I watched. I had a friend that was producing the last match. I heard about the last match.
So if he produced it, how did they cover up the snoring in the ring when he was sleeping?
Well, I mean, there's this thing called a crowd that was around that was going to drown out that noise, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you cover that up, but
the chance of Wake Up Rick covered it up, I guess. I don't know.
Wake up! Wow. Oh,
I love Ric Flair. I got to see him one time, not wrestle, but live. And I watched that last match, and I did not want to ever see Rick get in a ring again.
I got to see Rick wrestle a bunch of times in 2000.
And then here we go in AEW.
I got to see him get manhandled by Brock Lesnar at a house show in Washington D.C. in 2002.
Oh wow!
That house show was headlined by Hogan and The Undertaker. It was a really good show from top to bottom, but it was just like Ric Flair and Lesnar. It was like one of those matches where you were just like, "Oh, what's going to happen here?" And yeah, we saw what was going to happen there. Yeah.
How he's still alive. I think he probably died during that match at some point.
Oh, dude, I'm going to tell you, if you guys I don't know who's out there, if you went to a house show in 2002 for WWE, especially like on the Raw, like Raw or SmackDown in general, like you were going to get to see some really cool shit.
Yeah,
that was one of the weirdest matches I've ever seen, and one of the most brutal I've ever seen.
Wasn't the Gold Dust electrocution spot by Evolution in DC?
February of 2003. That was a Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
that was where they actually. That's fun fact. That is where they named the group Evolution. The Triple H, Ric Flair, Randy Orton,
Batista.
Yep, that was that took place in DC.
I was there. I was at that show.
Yeah, Bryan Danielson wrestled in a dark match against Rico.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, like a lot of people don't remember that one, but yeah, that was the very first match. You had that, and then Sean O'Hare wrestled some jobber that I can't remember the name of, but
did you just use the word jobber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with the word jobber. Back in the day, if I use the word jabroni, that's when you're disrespecting somebody.
Oh,
Jobber, Jobber's a good term. Jobber always had a job.
Did James Ellsworth call you a jabroni?
Well, James Ellsworth was a fucking jabroni to begin with, but we'll get that's a whole other story for another day. I don't have another
Cannot
hour.
wait to bring you Mike.
Oh,
We're going.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, if somebody asks the right questions, there's going to be a time and a place where I will unload some bullshit.
Text those right questions to me, Mike. We'll let them fly.
Yeah, I'm only gonna start talking when somebody asks the right questions. But when somebody asks the right questions, I will unload some bullshit. Because I've got about a year of bullshit. Just the last year. We're not even talking. Hell, I was involved with him for what, since 2009.
Yeah, adrenaline, right? Adrenaline.
Yeah. No more.
Still owes me money, by the way. Adrenaline Wrestling still owes me money for tickets I bought right before the pandemic.
Really? You for the Kelly show?
Yeah. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what it was. I just tried to go to an adrenaline show.
It was right before. Yeah, the one right before the pandemic was the Kelly show at 7:10.
Yep. I honestly don't remember. I know it cost me $50.
Yep.
Somebody sent me a message back and said, "Hey, we'll catch you at the next show."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well,
that was a while.
Trust me. You have me back on, and you pry the right questions a little bit.
we're definitely going to do it, but I didn't give who I want.
Go ahead.
Punk to face. There's only one guy that he should be facing. R-Truth. That's all we need to know.
There we go.
Jesus.
So we're going to get you out of here, Mike. I appreciate you being here. Tell everybody where you are going to be for the rest of December.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm going to be at WWA December 9th. Details for that show are going to be coming out this week. So I got to keep that under wraps for right now, but there will be details coming out for that show. Check out their social media for all information. The big one, though, December 29th, right outside of Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, Quincy Community Center, Voltage Wrestling, their final show of the year. We have got a stacked card. More information about that card, www.voltagewrestling.com. Follow us on all social media. Voltage Wrestling, look for us. We will be the V with the lightning bolt right in the middle. But ladies and gentlemen, we hope to see you out at the event, and you'll have a good time. I guarantee it.
There's only one guy that's going to be in that building that's going to sell tickets, and that's Jonathan Cross.
How the hell you say?
Hell of a following he has. I mean, most of it's his cousins and uncles and shit, but most likely
It's definitely not from Jeremy Stone.
What?
Oh man.
I had to get my shot.
That's a name I haven't heard in a minute, man. Jeremy Stone.
Let me tell you, I have to tell you the story off air sometime, Mike, about Jeremy and how I feel and some of my feelings about wrestling in this area from back in the day. So we'll have to talk about that sometime.
All right. It sounds like
I'm not gonna get it.
Sound like some tea will be spilled. I don't know.
I don't have a lot of tea because I was only here for a cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee in the big time.
Big time, yeah. But it was enough to make me look at independent wrestling in this area differently and how I feel about it today and what I'd like to do with independent wrestling today.
Well, it seems like you're doing a great job down there with ATCW.
Yeah, we're having a good time. We've made a lot of changes.
It seems like you guys are doing a great job down there. Every time I've been there, it's been a class organization. So I always appreciate. I was just going to say, I always appreciate, Tim Simmons and the crew down there for the way they treat me every time I come in. It's a class organization. Definitely, wrestling fans, go check them out.
Yeah, we just came off of a show in November, our big November Rumble. Pretty successsuul show. We were packed. It was packed.
Yeah.
So Ricky and Scott got
a hell of a show.
It was
a show.
Yeah.
Good show.
It was a good show.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of the crowd. It looks like you had a good house, and
it's a good little group. I would say a little bit. I mean, because it's like almost 200 plus people, but it's a good group.
Scotty accounts for about 6 of them.
People.
Yeah. Well, much love and success to you guys down there. And once again, thank you for having me on the show. I very much appreciate it. I hope to be back on, and we'll get into.
We will definitely get you back. We're gonna spill
let's spill some tea. Yeah, let's spill some tea next time.
We're gonna dedicate an episode to.
We're gonna open up some whoop ass on James Ellsworth.
Well, no, what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna open up, and this ain't gonna be spilling dirt, but it'll just be an honest. You'll get an honest.
Hey, do you have any connections to anybody that knows Bianca Belair by chance?
Yeah, I would.
Do you know Brian Hardy? Do you know Brian Hardy?
Yeah, I know Brian Hardy.
Okay. Brian hates Bianca Belair.
That wasn't a bad thing. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, that sounded weird the way you said
I
that.
know. It was just like, yeah, I know Brian.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That sounded like a lot worse than I was trying to make it sound. But it was like, yeah, I know Brian. Brian,
he absolutely hates Bianca Belair for whatever reason. He just hates her.
Man, what did she ever do to him?
So,
has something to do with Taco Bell. That's all I can tell you.
Taco Bell.
He said that she was the drizzling shits.
Oh.
With a Baja Blast.
With a Baja Blast.
With a Baja Blast.
Man.
So I'll give
Baja Blast ever do to Brian.
No, it's not what the Baja Blast did to him. It's what Bianca did to Brian.
I thought we were all Waffle House kind of guys, and then this Taco Bell thing came up, and it's just been.
I'm a Waffle House guy.
So you have to be.
Yeah, who the fuck is not a Waffle? That's like being a Wawa guy, or not being. That's like not being a Wawa guy. That's like being a Sheets guy. You just have to be if you're in the business.
Yeah. You're a Sheets guy and a Waffle House guy. I hate Waffle House, but find myself eating there. So,
because what you do after the shows.
It's the only fucking place open.
Exactly.
I'll give everybody just a little taste. Mike, are you allowed to talk about certain things because of legal ramifications?
Oh, dude, I'm allowed to talk about whatever. There will be no stone left unturned. I'll just say that.
Is there still legal action pending?
There's no legal action. There was never legal action pending.
There was nothing from his end?
No.
Okay.
It's all of it's going to be honest. That's here's the thing. Before I do have to leave you, but here's the thing.
Yes.
Everything I'm going to say, I've got proof to back up. We can back this up by screenshots. And it's not going to be this is going to be an honest recounting of the last 2 years. Oh my gosh.
I can't wait.
And what that's all I'm going to say. So
you tell me when a good time it is. We'll set it up. We'll build it up, and then we will fire with it.
All right. Sounds good, man.
Can't wait for this one.
Thank you.
All right. So what you guys don't know, I didn't meet Mike through wrestling. We met through kickball. Kickball. We played on the kickball.
Of all things, kickball, and then I find out you used to be a wrestler.
The Peaches.
Yes, the Peaches. We were the Peaches.
We were the Peaches. We were terrible.
Yeah. Well, with a name like that,
well, a couple of the girls
must have been the only two people to ever strike out in kickball.
Never struck out.
I got injured in kickball. I literally pulled my quadricep muscle playing that season
at City Park. I remember.
My quad has never been the same since.
Oh shit!
Neither has McMahon's.
Running ropes, hitting corners, landing on the outside, landing on the apron, and you pull your.
I've had minor injuries in wrestling, and my first real major injury since training was at kickball. So I have a laugh at that. All right, guys, I've got to head out.
Thank you.
We've got things to do and people to see. But thank you for having me on.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
Thanks.
Catch Mike at Voltage. All right. Well, that was boy, that's going to be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one.
That's going to be a good one.
This is going to be fun.
We're going to have to give him the floor. I can see it now. James Ellsworth is a jabroni. I can see the header right now on the YouTube.
You got to get when you put the picture up in the middle of the screen on the live show. You got to have that one where Jericho calls him Chince McMahon. And he's in the corner like,
No, he's great. Mike's
there's a lost child at ringside. Will somebody please come pick him up?
Mike's one of the good dudes. I believe we had the same thoughts about independent wrestling. We want to make it better. A lot of times, independent wrestling, the promoters, they're all infighting all the time, and there's always better than you or whatever. But I don't think at the end of the day, they all have the same thing in mind, and that's to make independent wrestling better. You've seen a lot of shit independent wrestling. That all can be changed by a little bit of training, a little bit of know-how, and some guys at the top that are willing to put in the work. And Mike is one of those guys. I've been on a Voltage show. I'll be on this one in December. And Mike runs a good tight ship, and a lot of good guys. And he'll bring in some stars every once in a while. He's got a guy right now that used to wrestle in NXT, I believe. His name is slipping my mind. He's had James Storm in recently. So Mike's got some connections in the wrestling business. So good dude.
Can he get him on here?
Can I get Mike on here?
No,
Hold
the
on.
other guys.
Oh, James Storm. We'll work on that. I'm working on getting
Yeah.
Ellsworth on here in a split window. So
Get
Anyway.
your popcorn.
let's check the chat real quick before we get out of here. Let's go. Ellsworth is a piece of shit. Yeah. Randy. I don't know Ellsworth personally. I've only heard bad things. So there are a lot of shitty guys in this business, a lot of cutthroat guys in this business that'll do some shady shit to you to make sure you do not succeed or try to succeed. ATCW had a guy here recently that tried to go up against us running shows in our area, and we fucking buried him. So, guess where that guy is now? Not around us. He's not running shows near us anymore. He learned his less on mine. He learned his less on mine. So anyway, that's good to hear from RWA Wrestling. Ricky, Scott, where will you guys be wrestling this week? I'm totally kidding.
I'm on vacation. I got lots of free time.
Lots of free time. I'll let you guys know about the Voltage show. There is a show coming up. The Radical Stars are running a show here in Harper's Ferry. $5 to get in.
Damn.
Can't beat it. So should be
Cheaper than Chucky.
a lot cheaper in Chucky. So yeah, they're running some. I don't know who's going to be on the show though. I will be there.
There you go.
I don't know if I'll be on the show, but I am running sound for them because I love those guys. They're great guys. So anyway, that's going to do it for Hardware Wrestling. Ricky, Scott, thank you so much. In and out of here in about a little over an hour. That's pretty good from a CM Punk Monday.
Yeah, I thought this would have been into Tuesday.
Yeah, we
Hey.
talked so much CM Punk.
We'll get into more of my feelings on it later. So
Oh, okay. So the Friday episode, I'm sure there'll be some. We got a new subscriber. Hello, new subscriber to YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be some shit this week. I'm sure we'll get some stuff on.
We got a
Monday.
huge Monday Night Raw tonight.
Big Monday Night Raw. We're gonna get.
This will probably be more anticipated than the post-Mania Raw.
All right,
yeah,
let's set a line. I'm going to set a line at 3.4 million over or under.
Under.
over. Huh? I'm gonna go
I'm good at setting lines.
almost 4 million is what I'm going.
Yeah, we got the Viper. We got CM Punk, and honestly, at the end of the day, there's only one guy we're all here to see.
R-Truth.
R-Truth. That's it. All
Exactly.
right, we'll see you guys next time on
The hard way.
Hey.